Okay, so now we're going to review graphing lines. So let's do example 1. Draw a line through the point -2, 5 with the slope of -3. So the first thing we want to do is plot our point at -2, 5. Okay, and then we're going to look at our slope and determine the rise and the run. So I'm going to write -3. Now, whenever we have rise and run, we see it as a fraction. So I'm going to write it as -3/1. And now my rise is -3 and my run is 1. Now we have to know what negative numbers mean. When your rise is positive, that means you're going up. When your rise is negative, you're actually going down. When your run is positive, you're moving to the right. When your run is negative, you're moving to the left. So in this case, we're going to go down 3 and to the right 1 from that original point we have. So I'm going to use a highlighter here, and I'm going to go down 3 to the right 1. And now I'm going to plot that new point right over there. Okay, and then you can do that rise and run again if you want a little bit more accuracy, but technically at this point you can connect your dots. I'm just going to do one more. And I have a point right here. And now we can connect our dots to create our line. Now make sure you put arrows at the end of your line to show that it goes on forever in both directions. And that's how we graph a line. Let's try example 2. Okay, so for number 2, our point is at 3, 4, and our slope is 2/3. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my first coordinate. Okay, and then I'm going to look at my slope, 2/3. That means we're going to rise 2, so go up 2, and we're going to run 3 to the right. So I'm going to go to my point, and I'm going to go up 2, and I'm going to run 3. And I'm going to plot that next point right over there. Now, sometimes you might get stuck and you might not have room to continue in that right direction. So instead of 2/3, we can switch both of our signs. So instead of going up 2, we can go down 2. Instead of going right 3, we can go left 3. As long as you change both of the signs, both of the directions, you can go in the other way. So instead of up 2, I'm going to go down 2. And instead of to the right 3, I'm going to go to the left 3. So this right here is another point, and now I have one to the right, one to the left. And now I'm going to go ahead and just connect my dots. And just like before, I'm going to put my arrows to show that my line continues forever. Okay, I want you guys to stop right here and try number 3 on your own, and then check your work afterwards. Okay, so for number 3, we have the point 2, -1, and then we have a slope of -1/4. So I'm just going to put that negative up with the 1, and I'm going to go down 1 to the right 4. So down 1 to the right 4. And then that would be a new point. And now I'm going to go ahead and connect. And put my arrows. Okay, whenever you have a negative sign, just either put it up in the numerator or down in the denominator. Okay, and again, let's pause the video and try number 4. So for number 4, we have our point at -4, 1. So that's my starting point. And my slope is 5. I'm going to write that as 5/1, which means I'm going to rise 5 and run to the right 1. So rise 5, run to the right 1. I'm going to go ahead and plot that new point. Okay, instead of rising 5, running 1, we can also do the opposite. We can go down 5 and then to the left 1. And that's another option for our point. And now we can connect our dots. Okay, again, pause the video, try the last 3 on your own, and then check your work with me after. Okay, so if we look at number 5, I started with my point at -6 and -3, and then I applied my slope by going down 2 and to the right 1, and I did it 2 different times. And of course, I put arrows at the end of my line. If we look at number 6, I started with my point at -1, 6, which was right over here. Okay, and now my slope says 5/3. So I would want to go up 5 to the right 3, but there's no room on my graph. So I have to do the opposite, which is go down 5 and to the left 3. And I always check my line at the end to make sure it's going in the right direction. If my slope is positive, I should have an upwards line, which I do in this case, so I know I applied my slope properly. Okay, so like I said before, you can actually change both of the signs for your slope. So we could have -5 over -3. And we know that's the exact same thing as +5/3, but now our directions are just a little different. Okay, and number 7, I started with my point at 7, -9. And my slope was -3, which I wrote as -3/1, which would technically mean I want to go down 3 to the right 1, but I don't have room to do that in this space. So I'm going to do the opposite, which would be up 3 to the left 1, which is what I did with my yellow lines. And then again, connect the dots, draw my arrows, and you have your line.